Why do Jews suffer in the world? This is our question. This is what we're going to kick off with the Torah portion of Haazinu, the beautiful song that Moses sings to the Israelites, the sort of the Torah, the essence of life in a nutshell, or the essence of a Jewish life in a nutshell. Rabbi Raphael Birdugo in this Torah portion, it's really gorgeous. It's worth looking into, but we're going to focus on one little bit of this essence of the Jewish life. So there's a verse in the song that says, "Kitzurenu, kilot ketzurenu tzuram." Our rock is not like their rock. Right? We know in the Declaration of Independence, the Israeli Declaration, the compromise on how to name God, we use the word tzur. So we know that we're talking here, when we say our rock is not like their rock, we're talking about God and gods. And what are we talking about here? Rabbi Raphael says to us, for the Jew, remember hundreds of years ago, it's pretty difficult because you're scattered, you're weak, and you basically have to do what the non-Jews say. And here Rabbi Raphael says, that the non-Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, they come and say to the Jews, look, there has been a trial and we have won. The Christians say we've won, the Muslims say we've won, you, the Jews, have lost. Why? Because you suffer, you have pogroms, you suffer all the time, and this is God's judgment. And here Rabbi Raphael says we need to understand something, and Moses already has provided a remedy for us long ago. He says, the Muslims and the Christians have this beautiful idea, so quote unquote beautiful, where their gods forgive them for everything. No matter what they do, gods forgive them, and therefore they seem to think that they win all the time. And he says, what can you do that our God is the only God who doesn't need anyone but himself, right? Their gods need their followers, and therefore, if their followers aren't always winning, then there are no gods, because it's based on that. And we can understand from this what Rabbi Raphael thinks about the Christian, Muslim, so to speak, gods. But he says, our God is a truthful God, and our God doesn't need anything but himself. Out of mercy, he has created the Jewish people, and therefore, our God, even though we have tshuva, this concept of always God waiting to listen, God will punish us if we make mistakes. That's the way it is. And therefore, Moses has given us a remedy to say back to the non-Jews, he says, no, there has not been a trial, or not the trial that you think. The fact that we're miserable here and been banished, and that you think you have the upper hand, that's not the trial. The truth is that our rock is not like your rock. Our God is not like our God. Our God judges us when we make mistakes. Your God needs you all the time, so you supposedly win. And then he says, right, so we're heading towards Sukkot, and Rabbi Raphael, of course, knows Masechet Sukkah back to front, so he quotes by heart the last page, where there's a story of Miriam bat Bilga, Miriam from the Watch of Bilga. At the time of the temple, she marries a Greek, she goes astray, but she's so angry because she sees that the Greeks are bringing chazer and stuff into the temple, and she kicks at the altar and says, wolf, wolf. She, it doesn't matter the symbolism, but she's so angry, she says to God, what is this? This is your equilibrium, this is what makes sense, we're suffering and they're winning. And Rabbi Raphael says, Miriam clearly didn't listen to Moses' song Haazinu, specifically to the verse, for our rock is not like their rock. You need to understand that we get judged by our sins, and God has scattered us for a purpose. Thoughts on the suffering of Jews, and the beautiful words of Rabbi Raphael Birdugo. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.